The science is in. It turns out that exercise is not the best way to lose weight. Losing weight can be such a battle. 90% of people who lose weight end up gaining it back. Exercise does have its advantages, which I will go through with you now, and then I'm going to tell you why exercise is not the best way to lose weight. Exercise can help to enhance your mood. It helps you feel better. Exercise also helps to reduce your risk of diseases such as cardiovascular disease, stroke, diabetes, and more. The things about exercise that are not going to help you lose weight are things such as exercise is a way to burn off energy, right? So you go to the gym, you go to a class, and exercise is pulling that energy away from you, which is possibly going to make you come home and want to overeat because you just burned off all this energy, and then your body's like, oh, I don't have enough energy. What am I going to do? And you use your energy from eating, or you eat to get energy rather, okay? So an example is like exercise is something that's good for your body and it's good for your health, but it's kind of like a seasoning, right? So you got salt, you got pepper, you got oregano, you got your garlic. So those are like all different kinds of exercises you could do, and you sprinkle it on, right? Exercise is like just the seasoning, just the little sprinkling to make things taste better. Exercise makes you feel better. It helps your mood. It helps to help prevent diseases, but it's not going to help you lose weight. If you go to the gym or you go to a class and you're like running on a treadmill, or you're doing this class and you think that you're burning all of these calories because you got some special watch or some special device or some special whatever that tells you after an hour you've burned 800 calories. Most of those apps are incorrect, and they're not calculating based off of you and what your BMR is, what your basal metabolic rate is. Basal metabolic rate means what you're burning during rest, okay? And that goes into factor with exercise. And while your BMR can increase with exercise, that app is not helping you to determine how many calories you're gonna burn during that exercise. And guess what? Most of the time, when you're exercising for an hour, it's like 300 calories, okay? And if you wanna know how to compare that, something like a piece of pizza is gonna be at least 500 calories. So you wanna go eat a piece of pizza and you exercise. Guess what? It doesn't add up. You really can't go and out-exercise yourself. Kind of like this. When I was working out crazy, like years and years ago, I was training for a fitness competition. And the diet was way too restrictive, and I don't believe in that. I think moderation is the key to everything. And so I'm exercising twice a day and, you know, eating like such a low caloric amount of food that it was like for a mouse, but I felt like I was like a mouse on a hamster wheel, or like a hamster, which would make more sense, right? Hamster on a hamster wheel, and like constantly running on a wheel, where I'm like eating a little bit of food like a rabbit, and then I'm going to the gym and I'm like trying to burn off all these calories, but then I'd come home and I'd be starving. And guess what? At some point during the week, with all of that crazy exercise, I'd end up overeating. So I would have so much trouble losing weight because, and yes, I was overweight at that time, okay? So I was not at a healthy weight, so just, you know, caution you with that. The amount of exercise that you do, it should be like a little supplement. So when you're thinking of exercise, think of it as, this is what's going to motivate me to keep me in that health mode, to keep me motivated. There are studies that have shown that when people exercise, they don't understand the intensity that they need to be working at so that they're not too hungry. So what ends up happening is sometimes people overdo it in the gym, and then they're burning so much, not calories, but they're burning their energy, okay? And we're not talking about a lot of calories. They end up going home and then they overeat, okay? And you also have to understand there's no way that you have that mindset of, I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna burn off the calories I had from last night because I had an ice cream sundae and I had Bob's breakfast bonanza. It's not possible. Like, that's totally ridiculous and that's totally insane. Okay, have you ever seen these weight loss shows where people are spending hours in the gym and they're exercising? Okay, well, that's like not reality. Okay, you can't be in the gym exercising 8 hours a day. And also, don't think for 1 second that those people weren't hungry. One of the other studies that I read was that there was a beverage company, and this is actually very common. Food and beverage companies will fund and support and give money to obesity researchers. So they give the money to these obesity researchers, and what ends up happening is they tell them, we'll fund your studies, you just have to say that physical activity is the reason for obesity. So you have all of these people that are doing amazing work, doing a lot of research on obesity, and it turns out that they state in their studies physical activity is the reason for obesity because guess what? The only way they can do this research is to get the money from these big companies. This is why we have such a problem with obesity. So if you are looking to lose weight, something that you have to really consider is a caloric deficit, okay? So we're not talking about going and doing 5 classes a day to think that you're gonna burn 900 calories like your little Fitbit, whatever, like cockamamie thing that you have is gonna burn. That it's not accurate. It's not giving you the accurate information. You have to make choices on a daily basis to reduce the amount of calories that you intake. So for example, if the amount of calories that you burn as a person at rest is 3,000 calories, if you reduce that to 2,000 calories, you're putting yourself in a caloric deficit with food, okay? It's not the exercise. Just think of it as exercise is just that little extra, like I said, the little sprinkling, the little seasoning, the little salt and pepper, the little oregano, the little garlic, whatever it is that you want to think of that as this is just this extra thing I'm going to do. It's going to help with it's going to help to reduce the risk of disease and it's going to help you feel better, but this is not the thing that I'm going to do to put myself in a deficit. That makes no sense, okay? It's only going to make you feel like, oh, I'm more hungry because I'm burning. I'm going crazy with classes and treadmills and running and going crazy. No, think of it as your supplement, okay? So the caloric deficit is important because if you want to lose 1 pound of fat, that's 3,500 calories, okay? So if your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, the amount of calories that you burn at rest is 3,000 calories, and you take away 1,000 calories, by the end of the week, you're gonna lose a couple of pounds. Even if you didn't do any exercise, it wouldn't even matter because our bodies are a machine, okay? They're very smart, they're very, very intelligent machines. So if you're looking to lose weight, make sure you put yourself in a caloric deficit and get off that hamster wheel of exercise. I'm Gina Nuzzo, and I'll see you soon.